your core strengths, right? And try to develop in that direction. Strength, right? And try to develop in that direction.
Hello guys, how you guys doing? I think this is an impromptu live shot. I just wanted to answer some guys who have some pressing questions. And if you have any question about your graduate school application,
how you guys doing? I think this is an impromptu.
Let's discuss that right now. I have like 30 minutes to spare. We can talk about it. So while I'm expecting people to connect, I want to quickly, yes, feel free to ask your question. All right, so my recent video where I talked about you can apply for graduate school with your bachelor's has been getting a lot of attractions, and that is very important to note that some people are actually knowing about this for the first time, and I'm happy about that. So if you have any question regarding your graduate school application process, we can work on that right now. We can discuss it. I will release a video soon to talk about your statement of purpose. That's an area I've not touched in a while now. So I will discuss that in my next video. I will shed light on how you can, write a better statement of purpose. because that's a very important document in your application. And you want to make sure you are writing the best, right? So, all right, I'm seeing a couple of questions here. All right. Yes, someone is asking about, can you hear me? I want to know if you all can hear me. If you can hear me, just say yes on the chat box or on the comment section. I want to be sure that my voice is audible. Okay, because I try to mute all channel of hearing myself here so that I don't interface with the audio or don't have a interference. Okay, all right. Thank you, Ransford, for that. Okay, let me see the first question here. Okay, thank you, John. Misal, thank you. I'm a graduate of HND with zeal to do my master's program in US. Can I do West evaluation? Yes, I know a couple of guys who have gotten admissions into grad school in the US with their HND, right? I think what I would advise you is, because I've not treaded that path before, but I know it's something feasible, right? You can do that. You can also reach out to the school itself. You can reach out to the graduate school to make inquiry that with your HND, can you get into a graduate program for masters, for instance, and they will give you more information on that. But I know doing West evaluation, what that does is it's it boosts your grade. It can improve it and increase the level of your CGPA and all that, which can also make it more fit for you to apply to graduate school in the US. So all I will say is, if you still have some reservation or you are not clear on that, you can reach out to the graduate school. And there are a couple of folks that also have gotten into admission with ICA. You might also look out for people who have gotten into graduate school with their HND for more clarification in that regard. Okay. So can I get funding for BSc to PhD? I think the last video I released, if you have not seen the video, I will encourage you to go and check that out. In that video is where I talked about the BSc to PhD route, okay? Depending on the program you're applying for, let me see if I can share that video. Let me see if I can share the link to that video. For those of you that don't have it, where is the video? Let me get the link. Okay, I think I have it here. So, Misal, I've just shared the link to a video I did yesterday. I talked about how you can check whether your programs accept bachelors for a PhD program, right? There are a lot of programs, especially STEM related and other programs, even non-STEM. All you need to do is to check the program, go to the department website, check the requirement for that program, and you can verify if they accept bachelors for PhD. I think that is quite easy for you to do. So go through the video, you understand better on that. Okay. All right. So in the coming months, I want to introduce another thing, to continue assisting prospective graduate students in their journey to access, graduate school opportunities, scholarship opportunities. the US and other parts of the world, different part of the world, Canada, UK, and all that. So what I will do is I'll be starting a session, a live session where I will have scholars from different fields, from different scholarship type, from different programs, to come on and, discuss, share the experience, provide insights from the experience, on how you can make better scholarship application and how you can assess opportunities. All right. So that will be a 60 minutes. Already I've done a survey to know what time is better to do that. And from the survey, it will be coming up either on Saturdays by 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. West African time, on Sunday by the same time. So either of the 2 days, depending on which one is convenient for the scholar I'll be inviting on that week, will be happening every 2 weeks, right? So that is, you should be expecting that from next month, and that will be titled Scholarship Insight in 60 Minutes. All right, and that's the preferred topic you guys opted for based on the survey that I did. And that will be coming out next month, hopefully by God's grace. All right, so another question is it still necessary to write GRE despite the waiver? If a school is waiving GRE, or if a school is saying, oh, GRE is no more compulsory, right? I think that means that you can submit your application, you still be considered for admission, even for funding, without that, right? But if it is not stated categorically that GRE, you don't need to submit it again, we don't need GRE from you, don't even submit it, but they just say it's not necessary, right? Then it means that someone that comes up and submit a strong GRE can stand a better chance of getting funding, right? So yes, if you can still write it, write it. But if you can't, still don't, that shouldn't remit you from submitting your application, okay? So what you just need to do is to improve on other areas of the application, write a very strong SOP, statement of purpose, get a good recommendation from your professors, your lecturers, as the case may be. Let your CV be well written, and with all those, you can still get the funding. I know a couple of guys that have gotten funding even without writing GRE. And another thing is you can start reaching out to faculties ahead of time, because based on testimonies of scholars who have gotten funding without writing GRE, most of them got it through reaching out to faculties who developed interest in what they are, in their profile, and they want to take them in. And once that is established, in most cases, GRE becomes less relevant to the application, because why GRE is just to assess your level of your knowledge in terms of maybe research or something, critical thinking and all that, analytics and all that. So, but once a professor is interested in working with you, there's high possibility that GRE will not be necessary again, okay? Or if you can still write it and the school is not saying, oh, we don't need it again, but they are just saying that it's not necessary. That is not it's a probability that, or will I say, it's not a stated fact that you shouldn't submit it at all. So if you can still write it, that's fine. Okay, so what else? Please ask your questions. I'll be taking them head on. Okay, someone is asking, can can one contact potential supervisors without GRE grade, or is it advisable to get it ready before contacting them regarding vacancies in their labs? I think the first point of contact, or your first contact with a professor, shouldn't be based on the GRE score you have, right? When I first reached out to my advisor now that I'm working with, I have already written my GRE, I have all the results, but I never mentioned that in the first email I sent to him, right? What I just did is to, understand his area of research, know what I'm looking for, why did I want to work with him, and, and all that. And I reached out to him and sent him an email. I think what I just added was my CV or something. I don't even think I included my CV, but it's sometimes okay to include your CV and to some extent your transcript. But your first point of contact should be about you, demonstrating your interest in your email, in the body of your email, right? If the body of your email is not strong enough, your attached document might not be of much interest to them, right? But when the body of your email is well written, constructed, and they are interested in what you have written in the body of the email, they might even go ahead to request for other documents. Because I remember I sent an email to a professor in Hong Kong back then when I was trying to apply for the Hong Kong PhD fellowship scheme. I did not attach any documents. I just constructed the email, sent to the professor. And after reading that, he was the one that requested that, okay, can you send me your CV and transcript so that I can understand more, have further information from me, right? So if you have it, fine, you can mention it in the email, but if you don't have it, that shouldn't stop you from, reaching out first, right? They are not expecting you to put that in. If they are interested in you, they will definitely demand for more additional information in order for them to make a decision when necessary, okay? So yes, that shouldn't be a barrier. You can reach out to them. Right, so my wife is doing MSc in biochemistry at the moment. I just learned that she can do PhD through your platform. What are the step-by-step process to process this? She has been on this MSc for more than 3 years. Okay, so I assume your wife is doing MSc in Nigeria, because I think this is a Nigerian name. Okay, I assume he's still doing MSc in his home country, in our home country. So what is there is for you to check out the schools you want to apply to. For instance, if you are interested in applying to University of Alabama, for instance, you want to apply to chemistry program, PhD in chemistry, for instance. I know PhD in chemistry accepts bachelors for a PhD program. I have a lot of guys who are here doing PhD in chemistry, chemical engineering related areas and all that, who came in with their bachelors, right? So the thing you need to do is to check what are the other requirements. CGPA is usually 3.0 on a 4.0 scale, which is a 2-1. That's like 3.5 and above, 4.0 and above, and all that. So once you meet that requirement, if you need to write GRE, write the GRE. If you need to write TOEFL, write TOEFL. That will, give you an edge when it comes to funding considerations. So that's basically it. Once you have those requirements, you can even start to reach out, to professors in the school or in different schools that you're interested in applying to. And with that, you can increase your chances of getting funding. I know chemical related courses, PhD programs, they are well funded, especially at the moment, right? They are well funded. So start to do that. You can start preparing against fall 2022. Start sending emails to professors, and that's just the basic step. I have another video where you can check on how to send cold emails to professors. What information do you need to know about that professor before you reach out to them? Okay, and also a video on how to search for programs with funding. So you can check that out. I hope that helps you, okay? And I wish you all the best in your processing of your wife's application. A school is currently waiving GRE and they don't need test of English from Nigeria. Is it advisable to apply to the school? Why not? The school is waiving GRE. That's a good thing, right? So why not? Why won't you apply? That's what most people are looking for. And if they are waiving GRE, they are waiving TOEFL, they don't need a test of English from Nigeria, then you should go ahead and apply to the school. Make sure your application is strong enough as possible. And if you need to reach out to faculty to know if they have funding or they have funded research going on, they can recruit you to their lab. You can do that. And if you need further information on that, you can always email the graduate school coordinator, and that should help you in making a good decision. Okay, I still hope everyone is hearing me. Okay. What's your advice for someone who the recommenders ask to write and bring to them? Okay, if your recommender is asking you to write and bring to them, I think you should do that. Okay, probably there are people that are busy, they don't want to start writing from afresh, or they don't have any previous templates, or they don't know much about you to start writing. And you can help them by writing something and giving them, and it is now left for them to modify it to make sure that it's authentic. It is it represents their tune of writing. So if they request you to write, so what you need to write is to write about yourself and your strength, your academic achievements so far, your potentials, your passion, reason why you are pursuing that program, and what you stand to gain from having that degree and your future career plans with that degree. So write and give to them and let them modify it and write a recommendation for you. All right. So it is good to request for recommendation from people that know you to some extent, that you have a good relationship with, and that will make it more easier for you. Okay. What is a good GPA for BSc to PhD routes? Well, a good CGPA is just a CGPA, basically is the one that meets the requirements for that program. So once a program said that, 3.0 minimum, that means 3.0 minimum is a good CGPA in that regard. All right, so once you meet the minimum requirements, you have a good CGPA. So the strength now varies probably for people that have first class, 2-1 and all that. But the basic thing is to meet the minimum requirements. So once you meet the minimum requirements, you already have a good CGPA, all right? So that is it. Do I have to send my undergrad and master's transcript doing PhD scholarship application? Yes, you have to. So when you are applying to any program, on the portal, you will state all your academic qualification, you enter the details, your first degree, you enter your master's degree, all your previous academic qualifications. So once any academic qualification you enter there, definitely you are expected to submit a transcript for it, right? Right, for me, I had my bachelor's and my master's before I applied to PhD here, right? So my master's was from UK University, my bachelor's was from Nigeria. So, and I have to, submit those two documents, upload those two documents, unofficial copies while I was applying on the portal, and also send the official copy directly to the institution. That most institutions now accept soft copy. You don't have to send through courier or something to hard copy to them. They usually accept a soft copy sent to them directly from your school. And some might even ask you to bring the soft copy or the hard copy while you are coming to school, while you are resuming for the program, a certified copy from your school. So it depends on which direction or which method they want you to use. So yes, once you are applying for a PhD, all your previous academic qualification is expected that you provide them, right? Okay, thank you. Can you help me view my CV? No, not at the moment. I usually, create time once in a while to help guys review their SOP, but at the moment, I don't have, I've not created such time now, given my academic commitments. I have a lot on my table, okay? I'll let you guys know if I have an opening for that, but not at the moment, all right? So, thank you. I asked if I will be considered for funding and they said yes, but it's for spring 2022. Spring 2022 is January next year, so that's very close. Yes, if you'll be considered for spring 2022, that means you might have submitted your application by now. So you'll be considered as stated, and you should be expecting that, okay? So once you submit your application, I've stated that in some of my posts on Twitter, that most schools will consider you for funding once you submit your application, right? The way it works here in the US is that you don't have to make a different application for funding, right? Your main application also is a funding application, right? That's why GRE becomes important for funding consideration. That's where your recommendation is important. That's where your SOP is important. So when you are preparing your application, you are preparing it with the mindset that this is also for funding. You're not just writing an application to get an offer. That's why it is easier to get an offer in UK universities, because they are not giving you funding, they're just giving you an offer of admission, right? So, and they expect you to come and pay for your tuitions and all that. So it's easier to get an offer there in a couple of weeks. But here, they are considering you for funding also, with giving you an offer. And most programs will not even give you an offer if they don't have funding for you, especially for PhD programs. Some will give you, but some will not give you except they have funding for you, right? So once you are preparing your application, prepare it with the mindset that you are also submitting this application as part of your funding application, right? Because there's no separate application for you to submit in order to be considered for funding. So all the things you need to write in your SOP, your experience, if you have teaching experience, you have to elaborate on that in your SOP. Do you have any teaching skill? What are the tools you have used in your teaching? How have you used that to improve the learning ability of your students? Those are the things you should put in your SOP, because that shows that, oh, if we give you a teaching assistantship, you will do very well from your experience, right? And you have those skills with you. And that is very important that you also, include it in your application. Okay. Is BSc to PhD route available for business scholars, accounting, economics? So the reason why most time my videos are more, I usually mention STEM most of the time, because That's my area of experience, right? But that doesn't mean that these things are not applicable to other non-STEM programs, right? The same method I use in showing you how to go about this thing is the same method you can use to also check for those programs. I know people who are doing communication studies here, people who are doing journalism programs, and they are fully funded here in University of Alabama and other universities. So these are not, this is the same procedure. So I can't cover all areas. So I most of the time concentrate on my area of knowledge, right? But you can still use the same process and check out your own program, okay? So if you are interested in accounting, check for school that offer accounting program, economics, business administration, and see what are their requirements, what type of funding do they have. And that's how you can know if it works, okay? So you do that. I'm applying for a scholarship and they require IELTS, TOEFL, or TOEFL. Can I replace it with English proficiency from my school? If a school requires IELTS and TOEFL, and they didn't state that, oh, if you are taught in English in your home country, you don't need to submit it, then it becomes necessary that you submit those English tests. I know most schools here won't, state that, but if you there's no harm in, sending an email to graduate school to ask, oh, I was taught in English. Can English be waived? Can the test be waived? I understand English. I wrote on my exam. I was assessed in English. Do that. There's no harm. They will reply you and give you more information on that. If it is in the UK, I know most UK schools accept, evidence of being taught in English, or most schools accept WAEC credit in English and all that. I remember when I applied for Commonwealth, I never wrote any test, any IELTS or something or a related test. I basically used my WAEC result to apply for all the school because they accepted it. So just ask, if it is not stated on the website, ask, send an email, verify, confirm for yourself, okay? I think that will help. Can you drop a template of a standard CV on the Telegram group? Okay, I will do that. Okay, I will do that in the coming weeks. I'm trying to get a template because my current templates might be outdated, and I'm trying to update it and do that as soon as I have it, okay? Okay, for those that are not on the Telegram group, let me okay, so if you're not on the Telegram group and you want to join, let me share that. For anyone that wants to join the group who is not there. So the group is a community of both scholars and prospective scholars. Share information, help people, answer questions, provide guidelines, guidance, and all that. So that's the essence of the group. You can feel free to join if you're not there. And anytime you have any question related to graduate school or scholarship application, ask and someone will always be there to answer them, okay? Okay. Where's the next question? Okay. Okay, I've shared the link to the Telegram group, so you can join with that. Okay, someone is asking, my 3 years work experience related to their course of study, what do I do? That is not much of a problem, right? People always switch, and if your work experience is not related and you want to pursue a graduate school study, your graduate school study is not about your work experience when it comes to that, right? So What you need to do is to find those skills you have gained from your work experience. There are skills that are common in every work experience. Find those skills and how can those skills help you to improve your application, right? So those are the things you need to find out, and make sure you also include your work experience in your CV. It doesn't have to be totally related to the program you're applying for, okay? And that shouldn't be a limitation at all, right? That shouldn't be a limitation. Just leverage on those skills you have gathered, use it to improve your SOP, state how it will help you in graduate schools, and you'll be fine, okay? I studied physics. I studied physics education. Can I apply for mathematics or physics related course? I think this boils down to you also checking the program you want to apply for, right? As I said in the last video that, we saw where it was stated there that anyone that wants to apply to chemical engineering should have a degree in chemical engineering or related field, right? So if you check the program you want to apply and it is stated there that, okay, anyone with a physics degree can apply to mathematics, as you said, or physics related course, why not? Go ahead, just check. Okay, the first thing to do is to check. Go to the department website, to the program website, check the requirements. And once you can confirm that, oh, it is acceptable, why not? And if you can't find the information, because what they are looking for is to understand that their previous program, you have been taught some basics of that program you want to apply for, right? So if the basics of mathematics has been taught in physics, then it might be that they will accept it. And if you are not sure, always send an email to the program director to ask, okay, I have this degree, I want to apply to this program. Do I stand a chance? Is it acceptable? Those questions are valid, and they will always be glad to help you and answer your questions, okay? I think that will help on that. What is my chance of getting a direct PhD with a CGPA of 3.8 on a scale of 5.0, 5 years of work experience, 1 publication? I think you have a good profile there. Minimum requirement is 3.0 on a 4.0 scale, and 3.8 already is on a 5.0 scale is a very good result, right? So you have a good chance, you have a great chance, you have and you have a publication which is also good and a good working experience. That is good. So what you will do is to leverage on those experience and make a strong application, okay? You have a very, very, very good chance of getting a direct PhD. Check for your program. Do they accept bachelors for the program of your interest? And once they do, just go ahead and apply for it. I believe you all have seen the last video I did, and you can use that to check if the program accepts bachelors for a PhD, okay? All right, so I have 9 more minutes. I'll be going next 9 minutes. I have another question here. I study chemistry. I'm currently working as a HR practitioner for 3 years. I want to pursue a PhD. I want to pursue a PhD in chemistry. How do I include this in my SOP since it is not related? Okay, your SOP don't have to contain in details your work experience, okay? Your work experience should be in your CV, okay? But what you just need to do is to find those skills, like you are HR, so you have human relationship, you have networking skills, you have team working skills. You're a team player because in research you work with a team, and you have those skills which are very vital in graduate school. right? So those are the skills that you need to highlight your SOP. So your SOP is as the name implies, statement of purpose. So it's more about the purpose why you're applying for that program. Okay, you are stating the purpose why you're applying for it. What is your motivation for applying to that program? Why do you want to apply for that program? What do you stand to gain from that program? How will that program, improve your career, and what is your plan after the program? Okay, so those are what is the reason for choosing the school? Are you interested in working with any faculty? So those are the things that need to be in your SOP. So your experience, work experience, doesn't have much impact on your application. It is even a leverage that you can use. Okay, so right, guys. So we'll be stopping here for today. I want to appreciate everyone who joined this call. I know it wasn't planned. It wasn't like I planned it since last week to do this, but I feel like, using this 30 minutes to just share some insight and, provide answers to questions that a lot of people are having. And also I want to state that as you continue to prepare for your graduate school application, be diligent about it, spend time, create time to write your, prepare your documents, get all your necessary documents in on time, okay? If you're applying against for 2022, by now you should have gotten a copy of your transcript that you will use. You should have your started drafting your statement of purpose. If you are writing any test, you should have prepared to write it, or you have written it already. Okay, so those are the things that are necessary. Be diligent, invest the time required into it, and at the end of it, you'll be the one to celebrate when you get what you are looking for. Do not relent. If you have experienced rejections in the past, that shouldn't stop you from putting your best leg forward every time. Okay, and I wish you all the best. Someone is asking this question again. I don't have a publication. Do I stand a chance for master degree? See, you don't need any publication to get into either master or PhD. Publication is not a basic criteria, okay? Publication is not a basic criteria. I got into master program without a single publication. I got into a PhD program with just a conference paper publication, right? So publication is not a criteria. A lot of people got into PhD without having any publication. So don't let that stop you from pursuing your dream. The reason why you are going into PhD is to learn how to do research. So you are not expected to have been a good researcher before you get into a PhD. You will learn how to do research. You'll be trained on research, and from there you start having publication. You will get as many as you want, okay? So that is not a hindrance. So thank you all, everyone, and I wish you all the best. I see you in the next live session that will be coming up next month. Have a lovely remaining few hours of the weekend, and I wish you a very great week ahead. Bye. Bye for now.